Happy last day of NaNoVlogmo. Happy last day of NaNoWrimo. Okay, I've got like a ton of stuff to do today. What am I gonna do? Some people I need to contact. I'm gonna do that while I'm editing the video from yesterday. I have my PlayStation running when I really shouldn't, because I have a bunch of stuff to do. I have to do a bunch of work for my, but like some missing assignments from my tennis class that I've reopened up, and they're due tomorrow. I'm gonna get all of those done today. It's just a few. I need to call One Stop about dropping 2 7 credits, because right now I'm technically still in a class that I'm going to fail. I just changed it to pass-fail because I didn't want it to affect my financial aid, but I didn't want it to affect my GPA either, and I don't want to take the class, so I was just going to fail it. But I might just drop it entirely if I'm able to do that without screwing up everything else. Need to talk to some people about permission numbers for certain classes, which I was supposed to do last week, but I forgot to do. Need to read the newsletter for my pharmacy class, because I haven't been reading those, and then I've been taken by surprise when I get random assignments due. So, none of these should actually take very long to do. I just need to actually do them. Like, all of this can be done in an hour. I'm going to edit this video now, get that done as quickly as possible, and then upload it and get started on all of this other stuff. Right now I'm going to edit this video. Hopefully this should only take like an hour, so we'll see. I'm drinking Bigelow, E-I-Y, yeah, Bigelow, whatever, tea. It's the mint medley, really good. Yesterday I used 2 tea bags and I mixed this tea with throat coat, and it tasted really good, because I can never find the eucalyptus mint throat coat tea, which is my favorite one. I like it better than the original. I definitely like it better than that nasty lemon one. So drinking those two together was really good. But I'm gonna edit this video now. Oh, why am I forcing myself to listen to this? And then I'm gonna force whoever watches this to listen to this. Okay, we're gonna try to find a verse in there that's actually good, and then that's gonna be the only clip that I have in there, because yikes, I was not prepared for a performance, and you can hear it. I sound horrible. Although, to be fair, I've only heard the first note of the first verse of what I'm singing, and I sounded like I was singing. But I just really don't like listening to myself sing. It's like, I don't even like listening to myself talk. Like, I've barely gotten used to listening to myself talk when I edit these videos. Here's the thing though, right? My singing isn't bad. Like, it's not like I'm using bad vocal techniques. It's just, I didn't prepare for it. It was completely impromptu. I just like I said in the video, I consumed caffeine, carbs, like lots of carbs, and then cold water. None of those things are good for your voice, so I can hear the phlegm in my throat as I'm singing, and it sounds really bad. But I'm gonna have to keep one verse of this song in here just to keep the vlog interesting. Okay, so for Vlogmas, when I do more of these public domain Christmas songs, I'm going to actually be prepared for them. I'm gonna actually practice beforehand and, like, I don't know, make sure my throat doesn't sound like I just drank swamp water. Like, I don't know. I need to finish this. I need to finish this quickly. I just need to push myself to get through this, and it'll be over soon. I don't even want to talk about my guitar playing. I don't even want to talk about my guitar playing. I'm not very good at guitar. I'm almost completely self-taught. And I started teaching myself, like, 2 years ago, and I haven't been consistently practicing. I guess the only time I consistently practiced was when I was in a guitar class last semester. But yeah, it's not great. It's fine, I suppose. It's not performance level. And then it doesn't help that I had just learned the song that I was playing. Like, I'd only played it once before. That was the first time I'd practiced it. So this was only my second time practicing this song. I'm gonna have to view this whole thing as a practice session because it really is. I was just practicing guitar and decided to record at the end of my practice. But oh my gosh, it is not good. Look at that face! Look at that! That is the face of someone who knows he needs to stop. That is the face of someone who does not want to be doing what he's doing. Cool, so I am done with this video. It took longer than I thought. I mean, it did only take like an hour to edit, but then I had to compress it, and then upload it, and then make the thumbnail. Honestly, by the time I got around to making the thumbnail, it was already done processing. So that's cool. At least it's in HD right away. I was doing some other stuff, like I did contact the people I needed to contact regarding certain things, which reminds me I need to drop my physics class, and then I need to still read the pharmacy newsletter for that class, make sure I don't miss anything this week, and then need to finish those missing tennis assignments, and then I'll be done with stuff for the day. Cool, so I'm now officially taking 7 credits, so I don't even need to worry about it. I was basically living as if I were taking 7 credits anyway, but now I don't have to look at it on my Canvas page and have it stress me out and have the false hope that I can actually pass the class. Like, I know I can't pass the class. Listen, that physics class wasn't difficult. It was actually mind-numbingly boring, but like, because I had severe depression that I wasn't dealing with for an entire month, I didn't go to class for an entire month, and I missed 2 of the lab report. I missed at least 1 of the 3 lab reports. I think actually 2 of them. So it was like, yeah, I'm not passing this class. You need a 60% in the lab to pass the class. Like, the lab is only worth 15% of your grade, but you need, because it's a lab science class, you need a 60% in the lab to pass. Otherwise, it's an automatic fail, even if you get 100% on everything else, which would be an 85%. If you get a 60%, if you get less than a 60% in the lab, you would automatically fail. So that would require me to have done super well on the other 2 labs, and I didn't want to put that kind of stress on myself, and I don't even need the class for, I mean, I do need a lab science class, but it doesn't have to be introduction to physics. It could be geology and cinema, because I'm no longer a computer science or IT major, so I don't need to take a specific physics class. So why would I do that to myself? There was like no reason to try to push through knowing that it would most likely end in failure. So I didn't want to put that kind of stress on myself. It's a really like transitional time, and also COVID is still a thing that's happening and causing me a great deal of stress. So I'm now at 7 credits. I basically had to call to confirm that wouldn't mess up my financial aid or anything, and they said no. So I went ahead and dropped it. Tomorrow's actually the last day to drop classes. I waited until the last minute to ask because I like stressing myself out. Hey guys, so it's like 11 o'clock, and I decided, you know, before I go to bed, I want to just kind of talk about things. I just kind of want to talk about NaNoWrimo, just what I've really learned from this experience, because this is my 4th time doing NaNoWrimo, but it's my first time actually winning and actually seeing it through to the end. Previous years, I would just stay on it and get pretty far and then kind of give up. First year I did it, I gave up after like 2 or 3 days. Second year that I did it, I was out after like, I forget how long. I remember last year I got through about half the month, and then I just kind of fell off. Like, I got pretty far. I was ahead of the curve, and then I just kind of fell off. And then this year's the first one where I actually won. And so I guess I kind of just wanted to talk about that. When I think about what this whole month, this whole experience has taught me, I think, well, first of all, it's taught me that I can set a goal and work at it little by little and stick to it. And when I stay consistently working toward it, I can actually see it through. And that's something that I do kind of struggle with, is having all of these dreams, all of these visions for myself, and then I don't really do, like, I'll start working on them and then I'm out within a few days, and it's really, really frustrating because I still want to do those things. I still really want to do those things. I won't go into specifics of what those things are here, but they're just things that I want to do, maybe things that I want to get done within the next month, or things I want to get done within the next 10 years. And I just don't work at them consistently. I don't make time for them. I don't prioritize them. So I've learned that, like, just prioritizing my goals, and like seeing it through is possible for me. And because, like, before I just figured, okay, maybe that's just not who I am, but no, it is possible. It's something that I can do, and that was proven this month. So I'm really grateful for that. Another thing that it taught me is kind of on a similar vein, just that I can make myself do things that I know are beneficial or are good, or just things that I want or need to get done. And I can make myself do those things just kind of even in the moments when I don't really feel like it. I've mentioned this before, but I've been going through a lot of depression this semester, especially. Part of it, I think, is seasonal, and part of it is just like situational, like with everything that's going on with COVID and just school stress and transitioning and trying to figure out a different major for myself after I realized computer science and IT just wasn't working for me. I had all of that stuff, all of those stresses going into Nano, and then through Nano, there were times where I just really did not feel like writing. Like, I would go through the whole day and not even do anything and just feel so exhausted just from something as simple as, like, calling my parents. And it wasn't anything that my parents, like, said or did. It was just like I was having to expend all of that energy just to call my parents, or just to, like, get one piece of homework done or something. And then I would be so exhausted. Honestly, the thought of having to write, or just the thought that there was still stuff that I had to do, or that I wasn't getting enough stuff done, because I'd used all of my energy just to do one simple task, would just, like, make me break down and start crying, and I wouldn't really know why. Other days, I would just really just sit in an empty classroom and just cry because I hated everything that was happening around me. And it felt like, even though there were a lot of things that were going well at that point, or that were starting to get better, I was like I was trying to rush myself into feeling happy, but then I realized I couldn't. And so that I had a few times where I just really just broke down, and writing was, like, the last thing I wanted to do, but I ended up pushing through because I was like, no, I told myself that I was going to do this, and that I was going to be writing a certain amount every day, and just forcing myself to get to the bare minimum every single day made me go to bed at night on those nights where I felt like a failure, or not feeling like as much of a failure, because it was like, okay, at the very least I got this done. I've done this thing that's working toward my goal, and it's something that I want to get done. So it made me feel like less of a waste of oxygen, for lack of a better term. And then the last thing it taught me is that, specifically with my writing, I don't honestly know if fast drafting is right for me. Like, and that's still something I'm trying to figure out, is whether fast drafting is right for me. Because I feel like, I think it could be, maybe not in the context of NaNoWrimo. I'm not sure. I'm definitely going to try Nano again next year, hopefully with a different story, maybe the sequel, maybe something else. I think I'm just trying to figure out, because Nano, the word count pressure and the fact that I'm not a super fast writer made me start just making my sentences unnecessarily long, like taking way more words than necessary to get to the point. Just doing a bunch of little hacks that, yeah, they'll get me to winning Nano, but it makes it so that there's even more that I have to trim down. It's like, I write fantasy, so I knew going in my first draft was going to be over 150,000 words. Like, I knew I wasn't going to finish Hayden's storyline, because like I said, I have 3 storylines in this book. Hayden is the series protagonist, and so his storyline in this book is significantly longer than the other 2. Like, the other 2 are important. Actually, more plot related stuff actually happens in the other 2 than with Hayden. He's still kind of getting his bearings on everything, but more time is spent with him. So I figured, okay, 50,000 words, that's going to get me maybe halfway through. But what ended up happening was, because I was focusing in so much on the word count and not on just like getting through the story, I've barely passed the first plot point. Like, I'm just getting into the second, or like getting into the question that is going to be resolved by the second plot point. And that's where I left off the 50,000 words. I do have a couple things that ended up kind of padding the word count a little bit that aren't directly related. Well, they're kind of related to Hayden's storyline, but they're like way in the future, like toward the end of the book, or they're from his father Joan's perspective. I have a couple of chapters like that in there, or like halves of chapters like that in there. I didn't get as far as I wanted to in terms of the plot. Even though I hit the 50,000, it's going to take me another 50,000 to get to the end of the plot, which kind of sucks, but it's fine. I did go into this knowing, okay, I'm writing a fantasy book. I tend to both, it's like sometimes I underwrite and sometimes I overwrite. Like, I can't tell which one I do. For this book, I'm overwriting. I actually ended up having to cut a bunch of, my book was originally told from 9 points of view. I cut it down to 5, or 6. Okay, 4 main points of view, and then 2 that are like, no, 3 that only have a couple chapters. I might shuffle those around into like the main ones. I won't say that I'm an underwriter. I'm actually definitely an overwriter, because I used to think that I was an underwriter, but no, it was just I didn't really plan my books as well as I do now, and even now I'm not planned super well, but it's fine. With this project, it looks like I'm kind of an overwriter. That might be because of just the pressure that Nano put on me to hit a certain word count with very little regard to how far I was actually getting in the plot. Like, this is like the opposite of poetry. It's like getting to the point in the most words possible, wasting so many words. And I'm gonna have to spend the editing process, however far off that is, probably not until February, to be honest, cutting all that crap down. So that's gonna be fun. I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited that this is something that I've been able to do. What was I talking about? I was talking about lessons that Nano taught me. Okay, so the lessons Nano taught me. 1, I can set a goal and stick to it. 2, I can push past my desire to not do something if I know it's going to be beneficial for me. And 3, I might not be a fast drafter. Or maybe I am. I need to figure that out. No, number 3 is like the results are still inconclusive as to whether or not I'm a fast drafter. I don't know if it's just getting stuck in my own head, being so fixated on getting to a certain word count that I'm not just like writing like I should be, you know? I'm thinking that that's it. Maybe I'll do Camp Nano in, when's it, April? Yeah, April. Oh, okay, and the last thing that it taught me it taught me that I can write every day. That is probably my biggest struggle as a writer, really with anything, is I'm not doing it consistently every single day. Like, I want to get better at guitar. I don't do that every day. I don't practice my guitar every single day. A dedicated guitarist practices every single day. I don't even practice singing every day. Like, I could be like a good singer. I mean, I am a good, people tell me I'm a good singer. I'm like a talented amateur, emphasis on amateur, because I don't practice every single day. I mean, I kind of do, but not like dedicated practice, if that makes sense. So many things that I want to do that I don't practice regularly. Writing every single day has really, I don't know, it's made me think about my writing differently. I don't know, it's made me like appreciate it more. Just like I don't know, it's like I'm constantly drawing inspiration from everything around me, and then getting those things onto the paper that same day that the inspiration strikes feels so much different than trying to mesh together whatever's been in my head for the last 3 months. It's so different, and it's something that I really want to do. I definitely want to be writing every day. It may not be writing my book every day. It could be writing songs, because I do want to be a songwriter as well. No, I haven't written a song in almost 3 months. Okay, so right about here I was talking for a really long time, just kind of talking in circles, trying to get to the point. But basically, what I was saying in this section was NaNoWrimo kind of taught me that I can just write every day no matter how I'm feeling, or like that I can express myself creatively, even if I feel horrible. And I don't have to force it. I can just be honest with myself about what I'm feeling and express that through my work. And that's perfectly fine. I don't have to force myself to write all of the happy scenes in the book when I feel like garbage. That said, I also talked about how a lot of creative people mistakenly believe that depression, anxiety, or other mental illnesses are what's powering their creativity, and they, as a result, refuse to get help or treatment for those things. And that's bad, and you shouldn't do that. I know in my experience, feelings of sadness or melancholy or worry or fear or all of those negative emotions can be expressed really well through my work, and they do lead to a lot of inspiration for creative work. However, constantly feeling like I don't deserve to breathe oxygen really, really destroys all of my creative energy, rendering all of that inspiration useless. So, I highly urge you, if you are feeling any of those things, or you're just like dealing with stuff, which most people are, let's be honest, especially this year, please get help. Please seek some sort of treatment, or at the very least, just talk to someone you trust. You may not need a therapist, you may not need medication. I, as far as I know, don't need like medication or anything. I am speaking with a therapist occasionally, like every few weeks. You may not need any of that. You might just need to talk to your friends or family or some trusted person honestly about how you're feeling. And that's fine, and you should do that. Do not force yourself to keep feeling like garbage because you think it's going to make you a better artist, because I promise you it is not worth it. So yeah, that is my mental health rant. And now back to the video. If you've done Nano this year, let me know if you learned anything from it, or if it was just like a cool little thing that you did. Yeah, just comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, now back to the vlog. I'm going to go to bed. I've been talking for 20 minutes, so I'm going to go to bed. Okay, the live stream already started, but I was making refried beans in the microwave because this is college. I know I have a full kitchen in my apartment, but microwaving doesn't take as long. They're in the middle of a sprint right now. I'm just gonna start in the middle of it. I mean, I already I already started writing. I mean, I already finished the 50,000 word goal, but I am nowhere near the end of my book. Because fantasy be like that. 50,000 words for a fantasy book? That's hilarious. And I forgot to turn on the desk lamps before I turned the light off. Why is this one so much more difficult with my left hand? Okay, here we go. Time to write. I have no idea. I didn't make a plan for what I was gonna write for this live stream, but here we are. So I am like just honestly, yeah, it's just extra at this point, but like this is a fun stream so far. Got a tip to write faster by apparently listening to Mario Kart music. I might try that, but honestly, I prefer just listening to slow music, which is probably why I write slow. But I listen to slow music for the feels. So many people finishing Nano. I'm so excited. We just did a sprint where like 3 different people finished. I'm here writing like barely any. It's okay. Maybe I'll get to 51,000 today. Maybe, but I don't know. We'll see. Hey, Caitlin hit 50K. If you're not subscribed to her and you like writing and stuff, you totally should. So, do it. She has way more subscribers than I do. But still, all 16 of you, go subscribe to her. Like right now. Do it. Alright, the live is over. I'm done with NaNoWrimo. Let me see what my... Okay. Final word count for NaNoWrimo 2020. 50,621 words. I'm done. Well, I'm actually nowhere near done, but I'm done with NaNoWrimo. Yeah. If you liked this video, please like it. Please dislike it if you didn't. And leave a hate comment for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Also, this counts as the last day of NaNoVlogmo and the first day of Vlogmas because I didn't feel like making 2 videos in one day. So, see you tomorrow.